Hello, I'm Mark Francois, the Member of Parliament for Rayleigh and Wickford. I apologise in advance if this latest video lasts a bit longer than normal, but it's to do with the roadworks in and around Rayleigh, and there's a lot to explain, and I want to be as accurate as I can. As many of you will remember, we had real problems last autumn when Essex County Council Highways allowed a number of property developers in and around the Rayleigh and Holbridge area to dig up the roads all at the same time. To cut a long story short, as your Member of Parliament, I had to intervene in order to try and persuade the developers to speed up that work as fast as possible because of the severe delays that it was causing, particularly to people's journeys to and from work and during the school run. When all of that was over, I organised a meeting in my office here at the House of Commons with Essex County Council, all the developers concerned, other councillors and residents groups, knowing that there'd have to be some roadworks in 2020 and to try and make sure that we never had a problem on that scale again. These roadworks have now begun, and unfortunately a number of the things that we agreed at that meeting in December have not been adhered to, and that's why we've got problems a second time around. Let me try and summarise where I think we are. In early March, Silver City Estates, who are a Rochford-based company, began roadworks on the London Road in order to connect their new housing development there to utilities such as gas and water, etc. Those roadworks are scheduled to last for 1 month during March and to take place from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the evening. That's not what we agreed last December, but Essex County Council Highways seem to have granted them permission anyway. Those works will hopefully be finished by the end of April, or maybe even quicker, as I'll come on to in a minute. After that, though, countryside developments will then take over and start digging up the London Road a couple of 100 yards further along to connect their housing development to the utilities as well. I've now managed to find out what Essex County Council's plan is to do this, and they seem to be working on the basis that that will take place for 3 months through April, May and June, again from 7 in the morning till 7 in the evening. To me, that's completely unacceptable. Then, to add insult to injury, later in the summer, when the school holidays kick in, there will be further works on Rawreth Lane to build the new major roundabout at the eastern end that connects it to the Holbridge Road. The good news is that a lot of that work will be in an existing field and can be done offline, as it's called, but there'll still be some disruption when they connect the roundabout up to the existing road network. And there is a need to try and get all this work done within the next few months if possible, because in the run up to the end of the year, they'll then begin a major roadworks programme on the Fairglen interchange on the A127, which, when it's done, should improve access to that major road, but is going to be pretty disruptive while it's ongoing. So in a sense, that's the bad news. And again, I've got drawn into this to try and do something about it. So let me explain what I've tried to do. Last week, I had meetings with the Managing Director of Silver City and with the new Chief Executive of Countryside to explain that this current situation is simply unacceptable. I've also had a meeting with County Councillor Kevin Bentley, who's the Cabinet Member for Highways at Essex County Council, so he has overall authority for allowing anybody to interfere with the road network. I've asked Silver City if there's anything they can do to speed up those works on the London Road to try and get the work done before the end of April, because they already have county's permission to do it. They've offered to come back to me on that, and I'll let you know. Countryside at the moment don't have the county's permission for their 3 months of roadworks, and before they begin, I've asked them to consider two things. Firstly, could they lift the contraflows during the morning and the evening rush hour and the school run and do the work between, say, 9 and 3 instead? Obviously that would take longer to finish the task, but what really drives my constituents nuts from the emails that I've had from them is when they can't get to and from working during the day and they can't do the school run. So I've asked them to lift the contraflows and do it between the morning and evening peak. Secondly, because their works are some hundreds of yards away from any houses as such, I've asked if they would consider working 24/7 in order to get the job done as quickly as possible, save lifting the contraflows as I've described. And again, I'm waiting to hear back from Countryside. And I've put all of that to Essex County Council to prepare them for that request if and when it comes. I should say that having been promised faithfully we wouldn't have a mess like this again, I am pretty irritated that I seem to be doing the County Council's job for them yet again. Essex County Council highways have not covered themselves in glory on all this, and I really am hoping that they can raise their game in order to try and get this work done in a way that makes it as livable as possible for my constituents, bearing in mind that we have to do the work one way or another. Finally, I've now got a debate in Parliament this Friday the 13th ironically, in which I intend to raise all of these matters in the House of Commons, be critical of people where I think that they deserve it, and explain to government ministers and others how I believe we can do better. That, in essence, is a summary of where the situation sits. Again, as your MP, I'm intervening to do my best to sort out what appears to have become a mess. I can't guarantee success, but I've spent most of the last week concentrating on this above all else, and when I have further news, either one way or another, I'll record another video and update you. Thank you.